Yeah, our next speaker will be Bettina Mihaly-Schneider. It's the last specialization topic. It's about chemical engineering and sustainability. Is that sustainable production? No. Yeah, you know.
Sustainable technologies and environmental engineering.
Protection, engineering, okay. Good.
Nachhaltige Technologien und Umwelttechnik.
Okay, so we got it. Bettina Mihaly is a senior scientist at the Institute of Chemical, Environmental and Bioscience Technologies.
Yeah.
And she is Dean of Academic Affairs for Chemical Engineering and Green Chemistry. And since she's working in this area, she's presenting this specialization. And I'm going to start your presentation and then we can take off.
The reason why I'm presenting this here is more historical, because at the time when we established these specializations in the masters, I was in the Studienkommission for chemistry and was one to coordinate this new program here. So that's why I'm here now. Okay. So thank you for the introduction. So this is in a way a little bit special program here, and I just would like to point out the background why it was established. So this should be well known. So the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals that were launched in 2015 by the UNEP, the United Nations Environment Program. This set of 17 goals is a result of a long-lasting period of discussions in the international level. So we have more than 50 years of different conferences and discussions. So at the end, they decided to formulate the agenda to go towards a more sustainable future in the whole society into these 17 goals. And to say 193 members signed these goals. And so with that, it is a normative frame. All the things we do here in research and also the companies or whatever kind of development has to be in accordance to these goals. They have the level of importance like the human rights. So this is just to point once again on the relevance of this background goals. So it's not just something that is fashioned right now. It is really necessary, and it's a long process. It was a long process to get them set. And these goals, as chemists or as chemical engineers, we have almost 7 of them where we can have directly an influence by the things we do here, either in research but also in industry. And all the others are affected in a way indirectly. So it's what we do here in our university or in our research is very important. The contributions we can bring in to reach these goals from a technical point of view, of course, first of all. And so the next step was by launching this Agenda 2030. The EU started also to set their own goals. So it is to be in the first site to be climate neutral by 2050. And I think from the news and whatever you read, you know that we are really struggling to reach this goal. So it gets better. So the emissions are going to flatten if you look at the curves. But still there is a lot to do. And of course, many of us contribute with their research to reach these goals in a technical way. But also we have the goal that within all these changes and transformation we have to do, we also should take care about social justice. So now you can say, okay, I'm an engineer, I'm a chemist, so I'm not really the expert in having or doing my things like to have a social balance or to think about what will be the social impact of this technology. In a way, yes. In another way, we are the ones who know most exactly what the effects of this technology can be. So they are more or less this dual use, or sometimes you have intended effects and sometimes not intended results out of your technology. And this is also one point maybe to think about what would be the better way to go. Yeah, so this is the frame. And also sustainability, so as already teased with the social dimension, has more or less 3 dimensions. So the environmental, that is the basis, and that's why I like this picture. So where I have the pointer. So this here, the healthy biosphere is the basis for everything. And if we have a healthy biosphere, we can establish a good and prosper society. And also out of this society, we have the economical goals. So here you have these 17 goals sorted in these different dimensions of sustainability. And there is also an alliance for corporate social responsibility. That means that companies have to take care also about all these 3 dimensions. Yeah, and that's why also the regulations were changed. So since 2017, larger companies have to do a sustainability report per year. And that's why in the companies they established departments that deal with exactly these topics to make the production or whatever more sustainable. And since our programs are strongly connected also with research, and as a result of this Green Deal of the EU, there is a lot of money going into research in this field to close the loops, to reduce the CO2 emissions and so on. Also material sciences is something that is really needed to enhance the knowledge and make or think about new technologies. So that's also the answer, since we have a lot of research in this field, but in a very cross-section. We thought about, okay, the modern technology is partly responsible for the problems we're facing today, not all of them, but still a sustainable development needs new technical solutions. So it's like a field of tension we are in, and that's why we have to learn or to do research on more into the deep how these interconnections are, and also to think about the impact this technology or this method I'm working on will have in the future. Yeah, so this is a little bit the background, what we were thinking about. And now the specialization of sustainable technologies and environmental engineering here deals with the chemical, technological, and process engineering aspect. So we have to cross along the fundamental research, the scale up the technologies up to the processes that are needed to produce or to produce certain products or energy. And yeah, the motivation was to enhance or to support the development into this direction. And yeah, there is the aim is to find the most environmental friendly option in the field you're working in. So that's why you have to look at different technologies and different levels. The subject areas we are going to cover are, in a way, the sustainable technologies, or the so-called sustainable technologies that are using renewable raw materials, for example. So all these biorefinery concepts are in there. Also renewable energy systems. There is a lot of research going on with hydrogen, but also biogas or these options we have. And along with that, we also enhance the circular economy solutions. Then the next field would be the integrated environmental technology. That is more within the process. We try to close the loops in the process of cleaning and recycling operation materials, for example, or also heat recovery. Then we have different process optimization tools, like simulation tools we use in chemical process engineering, and also the topic of process intensification, so looking for new ways to put maybe 2 steps into one to save energy or materials is something that is also a very, so to say, hot topic or very intensified topic here in research now. And also the end-of-pipe technologies, so like wastewater treatment, exhaust gas cleaning, and waste disposal technology. So in sustainable development, we should avoid having some waste, but sometimes it's not possible to avoid that. So that's why these so-called end-of-pipe technologies still are relevant for us. And with these subject areas, we're also crossing the areas of green chemistry, because in a way we're using the methods of green chemistry in there or looking for that, and also using the research results from chemical process engineering. So you're more or less in between these fields, and also the fundamental research we have here is something we have to take into account, and as well as these end-of-pipe technologies go into the direction of environmental engineering. So you will hear about the possibilities to specialize also in these fields. But what we have here within the Master of Technical Chemistry is something that touches all of these fields as well. So you get a good overview, and also you're open, so you have more flexibility, and at the end you're open to specialize in this area you would feel comfortable the most, or you're mostly interested in. The goals with this education we have, so deepening the knowledge of alternative methods and technologies and processes, and also with these methods, this not only chemical methods or synthesis, it's also analytical methods you would need to control if you're successful with what you're doing. Then you're going to build up an expertise in the development and also the evaluation of environmentally friendly chemical production processes. You're learning about suitable analytical methods, and you're gaining expertise in general in analytical, chemical, and technical issues. And so at the end, you should have good knowledge of the state of the art in this field of sustainable energy conversion, or also using different alternative raw materials to petrochemistry. The skills, it's more or less something you will see in all the specializations, but here especially we have a focus on a critical evaluation and reflection of solutions. That's really important to think a little bit more in other directions. So what would be another solution? What would be the positive effect or maybe the negative effect? So just to look a little bit outside as well. Also the critical examination of the consequences of technology for people and the environment, as also to think a little bit more than only on the technical solution. And also the system boundaries. So when we're talking about sustainability and circularity, we always have to take care what is the frame we are talking about. Yeah, is it just the production side? Is it a whole city maybe, or a line, a production line, or is it the whole environment we're taking into account? So most of the misunderstandings coming out of this, we are talking from different frames. Yeah, so this is something we also have to analyze very, very deeply and take care about it. Yeah, so the modules or the mandatory modules, I just listed it here in English and in German. I think in the TIS it's still only German available. So even if you switch to English, so that's why I have both here. If there is any, is this English? Okay. Okay. So I was just quickly looking at it yesterday, what is the translation, but yeah, sometimes it was in German and English at once, yeah. Okay, so we have some mandatory modules, so these are four here. So it's the topics I told you already that are more maybe, we have some interface to them, so the environmental technologies or environmental engineering, then the process analytics and the process engineering. We have in this sustainable technologies block, there is really from green chemistry methods up to technologies that can be used for sustainable production and also processes, sustainable processes and evaluation. So you also will learn the basics for LCA, for life cycle assessment. This is some tool to evaluate. First of all, it was developed to evaluate the environmental impact of technology, and nowadays it is used also to evaluate the economic and the social impact. Okay, and the electives is also a list here, but this is something you can look up also in the internet or in the TIS. And yeah, we have, I would say, a big room for electives here. So you're more flexible. So where to work, it's similar to all the other fields you could work in, but especially areas called like green jobs, as I mentioned before, you can go in. So in the public sector, in the recycling and waste disposal technology, there is a lot of things going on, and also the development of sustainable chemicals, products and processes. So many companies are trying to find new ways to improve their production sites concerning the environmental impact. And oops, was I want too much, but I'm switched off. It was just about the industries you can work in, so it's like more or less the same you will have in all the other specializations. Industry sectors, yeah, so chemical, of course, also the petrochemical industry, they also tried to close the loops, pharmaceutical, food production, and so on, but also as a consultant or an expert, and all these things are open. Yeah. With the focus maybe on, hopefully on green technologies. So thank you for your attention, and yeah. If you have any further questions, just write me an email or look me up at my consulting hour, since I have to leave right now, so I'm not here in the break.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bettina, for your presentation. As announced already in the beginning of this event today, I would kindly ask you now to stand up for a moment of silence to express our condolence and our deep sorrow to the people whose children or friends have been killed in the event in Graz yesterday. Thank you very much for showing your sympathy.